You're ready to go. Outstand is your foe. Give your all or you'll fall. Now let's begin the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to week 5 of the Blue Moon Tournament. This is going to be a match between Virirrion on the left side, ThiaguinhoHP on the right side. Both coming in here with impressive shiny records of 4 wins and no losses. So let's get started. Looks like Virirrion showing a grab banish and an area grab and going into slash cross. Definitely looking to go for the throw with that, no pun intended. We will see what Thiago looks to do in order to counter that, because it is very well documented how formidable slash cross is with a slow gauge in positive area. So see Virirrion go right for the slow gauge, and there's an area grab from Thiago, which we have inside information that lets us know that this is going to play right into Virirrion's hands with that grab banish. Forward man going to get blocked by the anti-damage. And there's the grab banish. So no counter for that. So that's an area grab that deals 60 damage. There's another area grab, but Thiago's going to answer that with one of his own. But Thiago's going to need a third one in order to combat this one. And now Thiago could be in a bad situation with Virirrion having positive area and being in slash cross. Thiago going for the damage on the Magnum. Now it's possible, would have been possible for Thiago to Magnum the front row, but hold that thought is Ground Man is going to show its face and put an end to Virirrion's slash cross, dealing a substantial amount of damage to Virirrion, and probably even more importantly, saving Thiago a train load of damage that he would have taken from slash cross's charge shot over the course of this turn. If Thiago doesn't break that slash cross, he probably walks out of this turn with critically low health, like 200 or 300 or something like that. Now I got Buster Wars going on. Thiago's slightly ahead in health, but Virirrion, even without slash cross, capable of dealing major damage quite quickly. Does not yet have grass to set up his brush fire combos and B code. Area situation not quite in a place for Thiago to go for the Colonel Force combo. So it's not likely, but it is still possible. So we'll see what happens here. Both the same ideas, they go into kill across. Trading charge shots and anti-damage going up on both sides. We do seem to have a lot of, we're going to say, great minds thinking alike, and not just a pure coincidence. There's a life bar going up from Thiago. Virirrion with his own defense in the form of Invis. Thiago triggering Rush while under the life bar. It's going to mean that will mean that the Rush will not paralyze him. But Thiago going to stay where he is and hug that top back panel. Not sure if he is suspecting that Tengu Man or not, but in any event, that is going to wipe out the life bar. If the Tengu Man had gotten both hits, it would have knocked out the trap as well. assuming that the trap is anti-damage, and it is, because both hits would count separately there. Getting on the side of Thiago, but Virirrion showing that he has air shoes. So, good information for Thiago to know, but it is not that Geddon is not going to trap Virirrion. Also worth noting is the fact that this Geddon will keep Thiago from going for an early Chrono Force this turn. Because it's on slow gauge, you might still see a Chrono Force later in the turn, but he can't mash it early because the panels are broken and the soldiers will not spawn. Beast out coming out of both players. Once again, both players thinking alike. There's an uninstall from Thiago. And Virirrion charging up tail arrows. Thiago doing the same thing. Neither one having an easy time avoiding the other's tail arrows. Tail arrows are notoriously difficult to avoid, and now Virirrion has to dodge Buster Fire for an entire turn, and that does not happen. Game 1 goes to Thiago, putting him up 1-0. Here we go, round 2. Grass panels on the field do appear that they're going to solidly favor Virirrion and his brush fire combos. So, what I'd expect to see is Thiago moving forward quite promptly to not be on those grass panels. Thiago deciding what he wants to do with his first turn. And not a lot that I'm thinking of to say, so I'm going to remain quiet for a little bit, give my voice a little bit of a rest. And when the action starts, I will chime right back in. There's the Killer Cross. Virirrion not surprised to see Thiago stepping forward. And there is an Element Man. At point blank range, Element Man is going to be used for Aqua to freeze Virirrion. No follow-up from Thiago, just a little bit of buster damage. And Fire Hit is indeed going to Fire Hit. Trap coming up from Thiago. And this looks like it's going to be, unless he has quick feet, it's going to be unfortunate timing for that trap because of that machine gun going to take it out. 2 hits from the machine gun for 200 damage. Not bad for Virirrion at all. Once again, Ground Man coming out. This time, Virirrion not in Slash Cross and not going to take as much damage from it. Still quite a respectable 180 damage with panel breaking from Ground Man. I'm actually fairly surprised that more players, myself included, don't use that Astra-coated Ground Man. It's actually quite powerful. HP is pretty even for both players. We got Virirrion looking to make a live fire play. And a get in play with the Beast out, with the Gregar Buster. I do believe, however, that Thiago has air shoes, so not 100% sure on this, but if Thiago has air shoes, the trapping portion of the get-in will not be that effective. Thiago's still deciding what he wants to do. Not blaming him at all with the match being as vaunted as it is. Like I said, both players undefeated. Both players wanting to stay undefeated. And both players should be recognizing the magnitude of what they're facing here. We've got Virirrion going for tail arrows. Thiago does manage to dodge the first one, and he's not going to use the get it. Instead, he's going to turn that into a tail arrow. That's going to connect for 200 damage plus the HP bug. Life bar going to come out from Thiago now that the tail arrows are out of Virirrion, and the invis going to come out while he's under the life bar, so Rush Again will not paralyze him. Not 100% certain how it was that Thiago knew that there weren't any more tail arrows coming from Virirrion. Perhaps he probably saw Buster coming out and assumed that there weren't any more tail arrows based off of that, knowing that if Virirrion had more tail arrows, he'd be charging them rather than firing off his Buster. So it's quite logical to believe that that's what was going through Thiago's head as he does indeed decide to go for the life bar at the back end of that turn. Virirrion ready with Tengu Man to take out the life bar and possibly the trap underneath it. With both the life bar and a trap, that is likely going to keep Tengu Man away from the Killer Cross cursor body itself, even if both hits land, and it's looking like both hits are indeed going to land. First hit takes out the R, second one, the second one does not connect. And Thiago is going to keep his trap, and he's going to counter the tail arrow from Virirrion, saving himself some damage and saving himself the trap. And if I saw it correctly, there's an uninstall attached to that electric pulse as well. Quite a clutch counter by Thiago to keep Virirrion from gaining a major advantage in this game. Going to save him that 290 damage from Proto Man, and more tail arrows are going to come from Virirrion. He's going to see if he can squeeze that last one off before the turn ends. There it is. And even with that counter, Virirrion is going to get quite far ahead of Thiago. Tail arrows very much like Slash Cross are another one of the things that greater players are capable of doing to put on a lot of damage with slow gauge. I gotta see what Thiago is going to do to hang on to that last 200 health he has. We also know that with Colonel Force, Thiago is very capable of erasing that 780 damage that Virirrion has in a hurry, out of nowhere. Really, really frustrating to play against when it feels like you've been ahead and having the upper hand the entire match, and then suddenly there's a beast out and you're suddenly thrown in front of a firing squad without a whole lot you can do about it. One of the best things to do is to simply put a lot of damage pressure on your opponent. That way they just don't have a lot of time to draw that Colonel Force combo. We're seeing Thiago take some more time on the custom screen, wanting to get his turn exactly right to maximize any chance he might have of winning. We see him going into Slash Cross. There's probably going to be some area grabs coming. Well, I say that forgetting that he is in Slash Beast. So we're probably going to see Thiago going for that chip charge or Slash Cross, which gives 400 damage for a full hit. But right now, Thiago has to be concerned about not taking any Buster damage for the rest of a slow gauge turn, and that's going to be incredibly difficult. And it's not going to be the Buster that finishes him off, but the Boomer to draw the series even at one game apiece. Virirrion won, Thiago won, and only one of them is going to walk out of this one with the clean pristine, undefeated record. Now, one thing to note thus far is that as much as I've been talking about Colonel Force, we haven't seen it at all from Thiago this match, and makes me wonder if he is going with a different setup this time, or if he's simply not been able to draw his Colonel Force. So, Game 3 will possibly shed some light on this, as Virirrion is ready to go, and Thiago once again making some hard choices. Both players going into Killer Cross here. Slow gauge from Virirrion. Area grab from Thiago. It's going to put Thiago in an area positive situation, give him some room to possibly avoid the machine gun. But Thiago does not avoid any of that, and it makes me think that he would have had some luck avoiding some of those shots if he had the super armor that would not have him the flinch animation the whole time. But the machine gun for 400 damage plus the fire hit and plus the buster damage is going to put Thiago behind the 8 ball on the first turn. Now, this isn't lethal for Thiago by any means. He still has the other half of his health left, and it's very possible to recover from bad turns. Thiago could dump that kind of damage on Virirrion the next turn, the same way that Virirrion dumped a bunch of damage on him on this one. Thiago going to trigger Virirrion's rush at the end of the turn, which will let him go into the custom screen and then promptly cross cancel that away and not have the paralysis to worry about. Thiago be in the back corner in a shaky position to dodge any boomers and brush fire combos that Virirrion might have, but fortunately for Thiago, Virirrion does not have any boomers on his custom screen. However, it's not 100% fortunate, as we do see a win rack, and Virirrion will be looking for any opportunity to decross Thiago and deny him any possible use of tail arrows. Both going into Killer Beast. As expected, Killer Beast being very strong. And there's the Killer Man from Virirrion. That's going to paralyze Thiago. And with Winrack not being a time freeze chip, Thiago has no way to avoid being decrossed by the Winrack. And now you got Virirrion with access to tail arrows. Thiago not as much. And it's possible that Thiago chose the chips on his custom screen, banking on the ability to tail arrow Virirrion. He's instead going to use that trap as a trap. And now it's a matter of avoiding buster damage while throwing back as much as he can during this turn. Uninstall play from Thiago is going to give him a start in the right direction. Virirrion waiting for that invis to expire to begin pouring on a little bit more buster damage. But we're going to go into custom with Virirrion at a healthy 930 health, Thiago at a scary 180. He does have a trap up, but this is Killer Cross, and tail arrows do take out traps, so that trap might not be of a lot of help to Thiago at all. You'll see what Thiago has in order to bring this one back. And that's what Thiago has to be looking at. He has to be looking at, how can I bring this back? How can He was probably looking at how can I win this one out of nowhere. There's the getting from Thiago, which is a pretty strong indicator that there is no kernel force on his custom screen this time around. Once again, we're seeing air shoes from both players, so the getting trap is not going to be there. Oh, and I stand corrected because Thiago did indeed uninstall Virirrion earlier in this game, but MMBN going to fall into a pit thanks to Geddon. Gunsoul going to be effective while Virirrion is trapped there, but Pro-Man not going to appear thanks to the holes, but the anti-damage is going to put it into Thiago, bring Virirrion the victory, 2-1. Excellently played on the part of both players. Virirrion is going to remain undefeated. Thiago going to take his first loss. Thank you for watching this exciting match, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you later. Mercury Wings out.